Hello, beautiful souls. Maybe you should buy yourself some flowers. Work with color. So welcome in Earth, Air, Wind, Fire, Water, Ether. Earth, Air, Wind, Fire, Water, Ether. Bought those yesterday for me. And we're going to have a chit chat about last week. So I've done a couple different videos. Hopefully this doesn't get interrupted too on the timer. I've been waiting for the maintenance guys to come in and handle some stuff in my bathroom. Again, it's all good. I don't worry about shit. Shit gets done when it gets done. I don't waste my energy on the bullshit. Not anymore. It's a waste. It's such a waste. So, welcome. Either you got curious and clicked play, or I was presented. I've landed in front of you for a reason. So we're going to have a little bit of a conversation about last week. And kind of ties into this message that I already recorded this morning. And so welcome. Today's January 21st, 2026. So last week was a massive recalibration, integration, transmutation, healing week. Like, I will try to put all of my human words possible to this. And if you have any questions, comments, please share, because the more we share about our experience, it helps ease other people. It helps give them knowledge and wisdom and information, which eases this transition that we're all going through. So please share. And when you are aware of it, you're like, oh, that makes sense. I get it. All right, that makes sense. It's like those puzzle pieces fitting, okay? So please. Okay, so last week, today is Wednesday. Holy crap, today is Wednesday. So last Monday, I did a workout. Again, my workouts have been very minimal, maybe 1 or 2 a week, maybe. Like no walking outside, none of that. Like lots and lots of self-care, love, rest. Again, it was massive last week. And I've gone through parts of the week or a few days, but it was literally like the whole week. And so I'm going to try and remember everything, okay? 2-1-1 on the timer. So get in for a little story time, get comfortable, get your water, hydrate. Give the little smudge your tech. It's part of doing energetic clearing, okay? Hydrate. All right, so last Monday I was doing a workout. Felt like I was called to schedule a Reiki session. I haven't had Reiki since last year. I got certified as a Reiki practitioner last April, and I've been participating in a Reiki share group every month since then. Amazing. And doing classes and different things when I'm called to, not forcing when I'm called to. All right. I don't I'm not trying to chase any type of healing. I just go with the flow. Big time, go with the flow. The biggest message is go with the flow. Listen to your intuition, listen to your higher self, listen to source, listen to those nudges, those signs, synchronicities. If you're getting a nudge that I might need a little session or I might need to do this, listen to it. But always know that, like I said, I got this nudge, I got this guidance to say, maybe you should call and schedule an appointment. Called the store for a Reiki session, which I know was more like ended up being an emergency Reiki session to tie into everything that took place last week. I had cleansed and cleared some stuff a week or so before, like purging of and cutting ties of an energetic connection that had been attached for 10 years. And this ties into that. So I done like the physical clearing. I had already done like the energetic cord cutting, and this is just kind of cleaning up some final stuff. No appointments were available for like a week or so. I'm like, all right, that's cool, whatever. You know, it's not meant to be right now. If anything opens up, let me know. Less than 45 minutes later, 4:04 on the timer, I get a phone call back, and we're both laughing. And the first thing, she's like, you're never gonna believe it. And I'm like, what? So what spot opened up? What time you got for me today? 4:14. And so she said, can you be here at this time? It was less than an hour later. I said, yep, I'll be on my way. So it was a 45-minute session. And because I was just guided to do 45 minutes, there's 30, 45, and 60 for when you do a Reiki session. And there's different types of. And this is the practitioner. She was also my instructor for the Reiki certification, and she's the practitioner that helped work with me and my spiritual team during my healing at the beginning in the springtime last year. So again, this is a very called to, and again, the universe, I manifested and the universe cleared because I needed to be in this session, so that whatever they had to shift, they shifted. and I was able to go. What was cleared was some still subconscious belief systems, generational stuff that came up. But the biggest thing for this particular session that needed to take place was there was a false light entity attached to my upper back region area, and I had been experiencing a lot of severe upper back pain, more than usual. Like, it just wouldn't go away, you know, from rest and recovery and all of the stuff that I normally do. And so it just was getting worse and worse and achy, and like it felt like it was just tight and clenched, like it was something was holding on for literally dear life. Literally. No pun intended on that. So at the end of the session, we discussed it, and what came up to be removed was this false light entity. This false light entity that had been attached, or was able to attach to me at a point in my life where I was unaware of energetic attacks and attachments and entities and all of it. There was a time in my life 10 years ago or so where I was transitioning and going through things. I was more open and I was unaware. Knowledge is power, believe me. Get hip to this shit. Knowledge is power. And you're able to protect yourself a lot more. But again, do I look at it as a bad thing? No. It's just part of the journey. It's part of the knowledge. It's part of the education. It's part of whatever word you want to put to it. It's a lesson. Thank the lesson. Be grateful for the lesson. Okay? Don't freak out about it. And so I didn't get the information right away of what this was. I got a visual of what it might have been. Like if I were to visualize something like physically attached to me, but it's like I said, it's energetic attachment. And what does a false light entity or any entities that are attached to you or to other people that are coming at you and attacking you, basically to cause destruction, to cause chaos, to block you from manifesting, to cause delays, distraction, confusion, pretending to be one of your team members. Like if I'm working with divination and things like that, potentially come through as giving false information or giving false confirmation and things like that. And I know there were some things that happened early on last year where I think that was activated and triggered. But on top of this entity being attached and the place it came from was also and has been also practicing some form of voodoo, santeria, bruja, dark magic bullshit. Okay, remember there's good and light, dark and light, good and bad. So there's dark magic, white magic, all of it. Okay, so again, be hip to this shit. And again, I honestly intuitively knowing where this came from also had some realizations over last week and other confirmations from my spiritual team that this also was remote viewing. So why would somebody attach something to one to siphon my energy, to manifest using my energy? Because I have very powerful energy. Also, if you're using remote viewing in a negative sense, to peek into people's Akashic records or to peek in on them on a regular basis, you're invading in their privacy, in their space, not just physically, but energetically and in the spiritual realm. So in the dreams, being attacked, all of that stuff. Okay, so this, again, I always intend that my videos reach those that it's going to be helpful for, that it's, and again, you're reaching this for your highest and best good, always through divine light, divine love, divine truth, divine power, divine wisdom, divine knowledge, through unconditional love and light. And again, there's no coincidence that you got curious, whether it be the title or you're following me or I landed in front of you, because your team is, you know, you're ready for this information. And knowledge is power. Information is power. It's calling your power back, standing in your power. And knowing that you're a powerful MFer, and that, yes, these things might have happened your entire life like they have for me. This is just a snapshot in time. That why I have been so stuck and struggled with particular parts of my life, manifestations, finances, money, work, all of this, blocks, distractions, all of this had a lot to do with this particular false light entity that also was attached to this human being who is also has parasitic attachments of dark entities. If you know, you know. If you're not, you probably have scrolled on and not watching this far. So it's all connected. And like I said, this was like the final cleanup, the cleanup crew. So this is like coming in to clean up, to remove this. So I can like basically unstop the plug in the dam so I can start manifesting, so I can start receiving my blessings, because these entities look into using technology or gifts and abilities to what is being foreseen of what is going to be yours, like your 10 of Cups, your 10 of Pentacles, your prosperity, your purpose, all of that, because they want to try to destiny swap or manifest for themselves using your frequency and your energy. Yes, this is real shit, okay? And if you love you, scroll on if this isn't for you. I love you. That's fine. So that was step 1, 45 minutes. There's stuff that still needed to be clear up. So that everything worked out perfectly timed in divine alignment and orchestration last week. Okay. My highest knew what she was doing. Because she's a bad bitch. And I embodied quite a bit of my highest self on a daily basis as well. So you might resonate with that as well. On a daily basis, say, I am my higher self. I am embodied as my higher self. Every day. There's meditations for that too. Tuesday, Reiki Share. So my intention for Reiki Share, which is a group class, many different Reiki practitioners from Master Reikiist, Advanced Reiki to Reiki 1 and 2, or Reiki, no Reiki at all. And there's things that I'm not going to touch on that took place during that class that I would basically energetically triggered another person who had a entity attached to him. Anyways, long story. I did a video on that somewhere. But it triggered me to do more healing work. So my intention going into this Reiki session was to basically clear up and clean up whatever wasn't able to be finished the day before with my personal Reiki session. So a lot came through there. A lot of healing came through. Wednesday. What was Wednesday? I'm going to lose track of my days because everything's collapsed. So I think Wednesday was just another just relaxing regular day. And I'm like energetically just drained. I'm just doing as minimal as possible. So Thursday I had a class, monthly class, with a beautiful group, amazing teachers, mentor to mediumship. So learning to work with our psychic abilities, trusting your intuition, doing different type of intuitive practices, sharing all of that. So very open. The one thing that I have noticed, 12/12 in the timer, in the past 3 months for sure, I've become, because I've received a lot, downloads, upgrades, and all of that. So I can feel that my energy field has expanded. It's gotten bigger. My auric field's quite big. And just learning to work with that, especially in public. Again, I think that's for future purposes with the collective when I'm actually out around in the cloud. So this was a practice outside of just class, but also a practice of being open with about absorbing. Because again, when you're an empath, if you don't know how to work and protect and all of this stuff, sorry, I'm getting really, needs to move a little bit. Maybe you need to move a little bit. Clearing and transmuting energy. You got to move the body. Breath is good too. Breathe. So class was really good and it went a little over, which is fine. Towards the end of the class, I could really feel like my crown chakra, my third eye, just like starting to become under pressure a little more. And I knew it potentially could be because I was around all these other energies that were so vastly different. Throat chakra right now, sorry. I'm gonna get this out regardless. 1, 3, 3, 3 on the timer. By the end of the class, my top was pretty uncomfortable. It's almost like those old school, what I could visually say is like those old iron helmets that created pressure. It was almost medieval torture devices. And that may be something that I experienced in a past life, because I have been in past Reiki sessions. One of the other participants is a good clear seer and saw me being tortured badly in a past life. So wouldn't surprise me that that's a visual that I was given to describe this pressure. By the time I got home, I was pretty wrecked, you know, up until everything that took place. And just, I had an idea what it came from, but I reached out to one of my mentors, and she's amazing. I call her my soul mama, my mama soul. And finally got in touch with her yesterday about it. You know, I basically, Friday, I went to bed. I had a hard time sleeping. I had all of this pain and pressure. I could feel upper back working. So when my team was working on that wound, I could feel almost like a salve being, an energetic salve is, and so it was like cooling, you know, like you put cold cream or something on. That's what they felt like they were. So energetically, my team was working on that wound, you know, because there's a lot of damage when something's been attached to you your whole life. or 10 years, that's a pretty long time. And that being attached to and connected to another person that's also been energetically siphoning you basically for 10 plus years. All of it. So, and again, I'm not going into great detail, just kind of giving like little keynotes. So again, if you want, if you're curious, please ask me, message me maybe privately. We can figure that out. Throat chakra attacking right now. So my apologies. If I'm not being throat chakra is being attacked, is someone is detoxing their throat chakra, needing to speak their truth. And this is me speaking my truth on this situation to bring awareness to this for other people that are unaware, like I was completely unaware and asleep to most of my life. And I'm 49 years old. All right. Knowledge is power, and the sooner you know, the better. Okay? And it's not like I looked at this as a negative thing. I'm aware of what was going on. I was transmuting. I was going through something. Spent the whole day on the sofa. Literally barely got up to 8. Couldn't eat. The pressure was better. But basically sat on the couch all day, and my flooring people came in. I do the flooring, and then had a short conversation, 16 on the timer, with the young man who came in to do the flooring, which was the best part of my day, which was good. It was all perfectly designed. Slept pretty decent the night before, but again, I sleep a lot. I've needed a lot of physical rest and a lot of rest while I sleep in these past few years. And it makes sense now. Those puzzle pieces fit, those connections make sense. Again, I don't try to give any of the negative things any more awareness than I need to. But you need to be aware. Saturday rolls around. I needed to get some food, some groceries, and so I got out early, felt decent, again, moved slowly, and went into the wellness store where I had all my stuff done, and I wanted to pick up a bracelet. I think I picked up some fluorite. So I've got fluorite, amethyst, lapradite, and then pink quartz, rose quartz. I would say pink quartz, it's rose quartz. So I picked up the fluorite, and as soon as I walked in, I was hit with like an energy that was not cool. It was gross, it felt icky. And one of the employees came up and asked if I was feeling all right, because she already picked up on the energy. I'm like, yeah, I'm doing okay. I've been kind of going through this integration, this healing this week, this transmuting of energy and all of that. And then it was busy in there, so I was just looking at the bracelets. I literally had to go over to a space, take my shoes off, put my feet on the ground, breathe, squat down, because I felt dizzy, lightheaded. I felt like I was like something came at me, basically. It's the best way it can energetically attack me. But again, I'm very protected, so if there is anything's trying to attack me, it's going to be a minimal hit at this point. Because, like, again, don't fuck around with my team. So it's enough to make me aware, so they're making me aware. So I paused, I stopped, I breathed. I knew something was off. People left. I had another conversation with one of the employees. I said, she goes, yeah, I've been feeling this too. And we weren't quite sure where it was coming from. And it had been there for a while, must be, because I had the conversation with the store owner yesterday. But anyways, I ended up getting my stuff and heading out and just coming back home and resting. And so I was out early in the morning. I basically didn't leave my house for 2.5 days and just hung out. I still had pretty good energy. I had enough energy to do some content, just chill out, hang out, listen to my channeled messages, watch some movies, and rest and relax. I literally didn't leave the house until Monday morning when I take the kid Tuesday morning, because he didn't have school. So from Saturday until Tuesday morning, I didn't leave my house. And I'm okay with that at this point. I have no guilt behind this. So this part of the message might, if you need to, don't worry about it. Shit will get done when it needs to get done. And if other people need to help you, let them. Ask for help. All right. So it's still sitting on and just getting more information about what was taking place over the week, what could have happened, what has been happening, all of the information around this particular entity, the person, and all of that stuff. And so we're Wednesday, so this was yesterday morning. I ran a couple of errands. I took the kid to school, ran a couple of errands, came home, did some content, went back out to the wellness store because I wanted to get some more. I need some essential oils, and that's where I got my pink quartz. And again, divine timing is perfectly. I hadn't heard back from my mentor yet, busy time life. Again, I'm not worried about it. We will connect when we're meant to connect, because she wanted to sit on, the information that I had told her that I had been going through since class, because I was wondering what took place, and she wanted to check in with her team and sit on it and feel into it as well, which is perfect. And so again, paths crossed yesterday, shared some hug and some information, and basically just informed me that yes, I was so open during class that I basically, and again, I didn't know I've been doing this my entire life as an empath or a master alchemist, transmuter of frequency and energy, that I was open, which is good, but I was so open that I basically absorbed everyone's junk, their anxiety, their worry, their fears. And that's what that was, that pain in my body, that pressure in my head, the physical fatigue. So my body was transmuting, this tiny little body was transmuting class. And there's 8 people in there outside of the 2 instructors. I was absorbing that. So we talked about that, and it's just a lesson learned. I'm like, okay, I thought that's what it was. It's nice to have that confirmation and that conversation of what to do next time. It's just a lesson learned. Thank you for showing me. What do I do? What practices can I do? Is be open without being so open that I'm taking on other people's worry, their frequency of worry and anxiety and fear, whatever it is, to be transmuted. I mean, it all is beautiful because it's a transmutation of these frequencies and energies that needed to be cleared. So even though it was very uncomfortable for me in the process, with on top of everything else I was always already going through, just having the knowledge and understanding behind that makes that a lot more like, oh, okay, got it. So every time it happens, there's just that awareness to it. So I'm like, all right, what do we do? We'll be open, but not be open to absorb. Be open with the experience and being open to receive and to share, but not open to receive all of their stuff. Okay. But maybe that was what it was meant to be. Outside of the teaching lesson, I was also, Source had me placed in there to help transmute 2 on the timer, to help transmute that, because maybe they were struggling transmuting that, and that's I was a strong enough vessel to be able to take that on with minimal repercussions, I guess is the best word. My higher self, minimal repercussions. So I was a strong enough vessel with all the work I've done. I was able to hold that and transmute it. And my symptoms were massive head pressure, before bed struggle sleeping. I was fatigued for a day or 2 and then just rested. Where other people, it might have fried their nervous system, may have created like massive, like an attack, an anxiety attack, a panic attack, maybe create a sickness, whatever, because it can manifest in many ways. So maybe I was placed also outside of the lesson. I just got a big flash of light in my vision. Thank you, Spirit. So maybe outside of the lesson, but it was also there placed in to be able to transmute. So some of us, whether we realize it or not, are transmuting energy all day, every day. When your fields brush up against each other, you may, transmuting that. So it's, again, just be mindful of your energetic hygiene. So when I got home, I smudged. I'd been smudging a lot in this past week, just clearing the space, and be more aware. The more you become more open, the more online you become. You just have to be more mindful of these things. So next time, I got to the point where, like, I don't know if I'll be able to, like, go into a space, but clearly that was part of it, because I know Source is going to have me be working in spaces that are bigger than an 8-group class at some point. So I've got to be able to manage my absorption of certain things, and to be able to transmute it and move through that if it is being absorbed into my field. Does that make sense? I hope that makes sense. And so, and then I also talked to the store owner yesterday about, the circumstance behind this weird energy that all of the employees were feeling, she herself was feeling, and then I also experienced, and I don't know if any other people were feeling it as well, but there was already a handful of us at that point. Energy workers. Could be a form of attack, an entity. And yes, it was probably an entity, something that came in the store and was trying to attach to or attack light beings that are working for the light, that are helping people helping people heal and help facilitate that healing process as, the tools. So, and again, it's not a surprise. And she says it was to the point I don't know what she did to clear it, but she says it was more than just smoking would be able to clear it. So, there was whatever needed to be removed was big enough that it needed more work, needed more tools. Thank you, more tools to clear it out, to get rid of it, to escort it back to source, escort it back to light so it can be transmuted and recycled into unconditional love and light. All right, so I want to just have that reminder for healers. Maybe you resonate with being an energetic healer, as I do. I've known this my entire life without knowing this, especially in the health and wellness business. I had no surprise that I landed there. Okay, so just remember that a healer does not heal you. Okay, their energy and frequency assist. Remember, we're tools, we're vessels, we're like that hollow bone. Okay, assists in the healing. The healer is someone who holds space for you while you awaken to your inner healer so that you may heal yourself. So it's just getting assistance, right? It's like getting a massage therapist, because you're not able to get all those knots out yourself. You're having the assistance to help create space so you're able to do the healing yourself. So it's like this co-creation, co-collaboration, and assistance where you are opening that facilitation, working with source energy, working with higher consciousness, working with the field, so you are able to heal yourself, right? So having this removed last week, I know, continuing with my practices, what I needed to kind of step up and check in with my team and ask for the assistance where I needed to ask for assistance. So remember, it's just a facilitation. It's another tool in the toolbox. So don't be afraid that if you need to ask for assistance, to go see a Reiki practitioner, so she is shamanic healer, to get that intuitive massage, to do a past life regression, to do a sound bowl therapy session, a meditation session, a 9D breathwork session. All these things are tools in your toolbox and what you're guided to. And if you're being strongly pulled and guided to have that particular practice or to participate in that practice, it's because your higher self, source, is asking that you need to do that, because that's going to help you and assist you and give you that extra support on this journey. Okay, so just understand that and honor that. Stand in your power. Constantly call your power back if you're feeling like you're being watched, whether, because remember, if people have certain abilities and they're intruding in your space, they could be watching you many ways. Depends on how up it's going. But if people, I'll use remote viewing, if they're using that in a negative, nefarious way, they're impeding not only in your energetic space, physical space, while you're dreaming, in your dream state, being attacking you in your dreams, all right? Or looking into your destiny, looking into what is for you. But just remember that what is for you will never pass you by regardless. They just continue to accumulate the karma, okay? And typically, if anything is hitting, energetic attacks, black magic, any of that, just know that it's hitting at a minimum, and your team's allowing it to hit as a little bit of a lesson, an awareness, knowledge, power, wisdom, and that it basically, they're allowing it so that not only you can gain some knowledge, wisdom, and lessons in there, but also with the minimum hit, that whatever's setting that is racking up more and more karma. Okay, so again, this might not be for everybody. This might be for a specific few, but again, I always ask and set the intention that it reaches that it's meant to reach. And this is, again, me just sharing snippets of my life and things that I've gone through in the now present moment as they continue to unfold. So that was kind of like, I did a couple videos like in the moment, but I wanted to do like a whole week culmination, especially after running into and connecting with my mentor and the store owner, who is also a mentor and a practitioner who I've worked with as well, on kind of just to close up on everything that took place in the past week and a few days. So you are not crazy. Call your power back if you're getting intrusive thoughts. If you're feeling like there's an energy smoke cleanse, call your team in, ask them to blast the space. I have a pretty sacred space, so I've bubbled up here. But outside, especially, bubble yourself up if you feel like that helps. Ask your team to support you, to clear spaces. Do those energetic showers, those hygienes, take a sacred shower, take a bath, and literally energetic cleanse and clear and flush your aura system, you know, on the physical. You can do it with light. You can do it with frequency, with sound. You could do, like I said, like nature. There's many ways to shake up energy. If you're feeling like something or someone is impeding on your energetic space, if they're impeding in your dream state where you're feeling attacked, if you're feeling blocked, anything is possible. And like I said, the crazier it sounds, the more likely that's the truth. That's the true. Okay? That's the true. Okay? And we want to honor these abilities. We don't want to use them to impede in other people's spaces. I don't do tarot readings on other people unless they ask me to. You just don't do it. You don't do it. You get permission. You don't remote view other people to see into their destinies, or to attack them in their dreams, or to block them, or to whatever you're using it. You don't do it. You fuck around and find out. You don't do it. You rack up karma like not a good thing. Okay? So, be mindful. Energetic hygiene, physical hygiene, all of it. You don't have to go around all scared and all of that. That's not what this is about. This is to empower you. This is about stepping in and empowering yourself. Standing in your power. Speak it out loud. Get the fuck out of my space. You're not allowed. Team, come in, cleanse and clear. Block. This person's not allowed to see into anything anymore. They're not allowed to attack me. They're not allowed to intrude in my dreams. All of it. Speak it. Write it. Solidify it. Burn it. Whatever you need to do. Ritualize it. Call Archangel Michael in to cut those cords. Clear all the physical items. Tangible, phone, anything that's in your phone, pictures, anything that there's memories that you need to cut ties with energies, physically, mentally, emotionally. Ask this to happen and take place across all timelines, dimensions, spaces, portals, and realms, known and unknown, seen and unseen. It is done, so it is said, and so it shall be. And again, you might take this a few goes, because again, this is the last ditch attempt of them attacking us light workers, us way showers, us grid workers, us spiritual wars, whatever word you use. Archangels, okay? And just know that you are more powerful than they could ever be, could even imagine to be. So stand in that power, own your power, call your power back, energetically walk. Shoulders back, chest held high, chest out. Shoulders back, chest out, up high. Walk with assertiveness. It's that gentle strength. It's not cocky, it's a gentle strength. Because you are all powerful. You are all powerful. Do you remember who you are? I'll see you on the next one. Love you. Bye.